TeaElle Tillery here, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press the subscribe button and ring that little bell so you know when I upload new videos. So this week, for this tag video, I'm doing the Self-Appreciation Tag. Let's jump into it. Question number 1. What are you best at in relation to your writing life? In my opinion, I'm best at writing horror and poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was a little girl, and then I started writing stories when I, also was a little girl, but poetry always had a very soft place in my heart. So yeah, I'm very good at writing poetry. I've been told by lots of people that I am very good with words, and you can give me a person's name and a few things about them, and then I can write an entire poem based on them. So I have a very creative way with words, which does help when you're a writer. So in my horror, I am very good at writing scary things and give people nightmares, which is a very good plus for a horror writer. Question number 2. What's your favorite scene in your current work in progress, and why are you proud of it? My favorite current scene in my work in progress is when my main character, Cagliostro, you may have heard some of my previous videos, takes flight for the first time. It was a very awe moment for me, for my main character. I was very impressed by him, even though I'm the one who created him. That was still an awe moment for me. That's one of my favorite scenes, is when he first takes flight in the novel. And you'll get to read that very soon. Question number 3. What's your favorite thing you've ever written? Ooh, favorite thing I've ever written. I have to think about that for a minute. I have to say my favorite thing so far that I've ever written, and I've written a lot of short stories and poetry and finally finished my first novel, I would say that it's a short story, one of my horror romance short stories. But you don't see a lot of horror romance. It's been done, of course, and it is currently done. But it's one of my favorite ones I've written, because you don't expect what some people would call monsters to love, you know. So that's one of my favorites that I wrote. It's going to actually be in my novel that's going to come out. I'm dating that one for 2020 release, because it's going to be a self-published novel. That will be my horror compilation novel, and it's probably going to have about 20 to 24 horror short stories in there, and that's going to be one of them. It's a work in progress title currently. I'm about to finish it. Actually, it's at the very end. Actually, I'm about to edit that one. I think I just finished it last week. Yeah, because I have a whole bunch of short stories that I'm trying to complete for that compilation. But that's one of my favorite things that I've ever written, because of the conflict of horror and romance being one. As I said, monsters being in love, as some would call monsters, even they love, or can love, I should say. Question number 4. What's your ultimate dream for your writing future? If you could have anything, define success for yourself. Well, my ultimate goal is to have my stories and poetry read by as many people as possible. If I can get my stories and novels in as many hands as possible, that will make me extremely, extremely happy. My ultimate dream for my future as a writer is to be, a small thing is to be a best-selling author, because that's like, that means you've sold a certain amount of books. But to me, it's not a massive amount. I mean, I think it's something like between 3,000 to be on one bestseller, and then like 10,000 to be like a New York Times bestseller or something like that. And there's stipulations for that, but just to be a bestseller, and even in my mind, meaning I have my book in lots of people's hands again. And my ultimate future dream would be to have some of my stories, novels turned into, even my poetry, turned into a movie or a TV show or even a video game, because I love video games too. So that would be like the ultimate goal, to take one platform and transform it into another platform of entertainment for people, so more people get to see my stories. It's just, that's my biggest goal and dream, is to have as many people read my stories as possible. Yep. Question number 5. Name a time you stepped outside of your comfort zone and tell us what you learned from it. Writing in first person perspective. I usually write in like third person perspective, and I narrate a lot. So going into my character's mind and talking through them was definitely something different than what I'm used to. So I decided to write one of my short stories in that perspective. That was different. What I learned from it is to take it as an acting gig. Not that I act or anything. To me, in my opinion, it would be, as an actor has to get into character in order to do their role, you know. So that's how I looked at it. So writing in first person perspective, that's what I learned, is how to do it better by trying to become my character and see stuff from their perspective, since that's what that is, and writing it that way. So it really helped me with that. So I definitely learned a new thing when I did that. Yeah. Question number 6. Share a positive writing memory. When I completed my first full novel, which wasn't that long ago, even though I've completed plenty of short stories and I've completed poetry. I've had my poetry published, and I've had articles published, but my biggest all-time favorite positive writing memory is finishing my first full over 50,000 word novel. So I was very, very proud of myself. Still am. I'm currently editing that novel to be my debut novel. That's my all-time positive writing memory. Question number 7. If you have a finished product out already, read us your favorite review. So I recently had a poem published on the Writers Unite blog, and you can check them out. They also have a Facebook group that I'm in, and they do writing prompts every month. And I joined the writing prompt this month and decided to write a piece for the picture. They give you a picture that you base the writing off of. I decided to go with a poem instead of a short story. It's getting good feedback and people are reading it, which is awesome. The whole point of the writing prompt is for them to help writers get more people on their blogs, websites, etc. So I'm very happy with that turnout. But I'll read you the poem, and I'll read you I have 3 reviews from people, or comments rather. So the title of the poem is Lost in the Clouds. The picture prompt, I will try to post it here. The picture prompt is of a guy who's on skis, I believe, and he's on a snowy, icy mountain, and it's clouds rolling in, and you can see the sun. It's a really nice picture. So I'll put the picture up here for you, but it's called, my poem is called Lost in the Clouds. The poem goes: as life leaves me bare, I seek the clouds of despair. If freedom was my mother, I would suffer. I would feel the warmth of her bosom, even in the coldness of her stare. Yet is it fear that's put me there? Here I climb to the peak. Am I lost or am I free? When I listen, I hear you speak. I am you and you are me. Yet here above it all, it's not you but the cold that frees me. By Tillery. Moi. These are 3 review comments from people who have read it. The first one says, this poem is beautiful. You are expressing emotions that have been with you a long time. Keep writing. Another one says, awesome, with exclamation marks, many behind it. And then another one says, amazing poem, I love it. So yeah, it's getting good feedback. That makes me feel really good that people are reading my stuff and they really like it. So definitely always, like, you know, that makes you feel awesome. Alright, question number 8. Because we all can't help supporting others more than ourselves sometimes, take a break from all this self-promotion and shout out 3 of your favorite creators on YouTube and tell us why you love them. They said on YouTube as a whole, but I'm going to still stick to the Authortube group, so to speak, since this is a writing channel. But I do watch a lot of people on Authortube, a whole lot, in different areas of things. So I could shout out a lot of people. But I'm going to do author TeaElle. Her channel is really fun. She's so welcoming. And I think she just, like, she has some of the most amazing stories I've read. There's one, well, she writes different genres. And she has one coming out. Erotica is under her other name, Minx Konich. I think I'm saying the last one wrong. But I'll put a link below to the book. It's pre-sale right now. It comes out in February. It comes out in February for Valentine's Day, because it's an erotica. If you're into romance and erotica, check it out, because erotica and romance are 2 different things. So if you can take the heat, check it out. It seems like it's going to be a very good read. And she also has her debut novel planned to release, Shattered. You can check out her channel. I will also link her channel below. But she's a very good read. I beta read for Shattered. So freaking good of a story. And it's a series, so more to come on that. Then another channel I like to shout out is Sarah Schwanbeba's channel. She's very interesting person, I think, and she's very sarcastic, which is my awesome all-time favorite type of humor. She was very welcoming when I first got into Authortube. She made me feel very welcome. I do write-ins with her when she does them on Fridays each week. Even if we all just talking and we don't always write as much as we would like to. But it's very nice to connect with other writers that way, to get to know each other. And then when we do write-in, I always do very well in write-in. So I really want to thank her for, you know, having those, and for it being one of the most welcoming groups that she's presented on Authortube. She doesn't, like, you know, turn away from anyone, and she's very responsive in messages and comments and everything. Very cool person. I will link her below, of course, as well. I want to shout out it.Writings. That's Jason Clome's channel. He's new. He's a newbie. But I came across him not too long ago and subscribed. He has very informative information. He writes fantasy, I believe, and he's also a poet. So yeah, I think his channel is very cool and upcoming. Yeah, he has a lot of good information on there for writers. And everyone has different takes on things, but I like his take on things too. Very similar in our takes on things. So I think he has a lot of good information to give out a smaller channel, because we have the bigger channels out there like Jenna Marissi and Alexa Dunn with and Kim Chance. They're bigger channels, but I think I like to give shout outs to smaller channels that are just as informative as well, you know, so that way people can know that there's plenty of different places to look for different advice and etc. and ways to do writing that may fit you. So you might want to look around a lot, you know, for different advice. So give it.Writings a check. I'll give him a link below as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more tags. This tag was very, very fun. If you have not done this, give it a go. I'm gonna tag everyone. I don't know, I want to tag Jason for sure from it.Writings, and Sarah Schwanbeba as well, if she hasn't done this one. I'm not sure if she has. And author TeaElle, if she has not done this one. All 3 of you guys are tagged. So alrighty, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care.